Welcome to the Grade 5 video for Best Practices. Our focus is on classifying two-dimensional figures. We will discuss and explore what you could see and hear as you visit mathematics classrooms. You may have seen math jokes like the one shown here about right angles. Well, during this unit, students will be asked to classify triangles or quadrilaterals into different categories based on shared defining attributes. Problem solving will include using visual models such as T-charts, Venn diagrams, and flow charts to justify why the two-dimensional shapes would or would not belong to a category. These are the key concepts that will be taught during this unit. These goals can also be found in the STEMscopes parent letter. I can discuss and explain how to use attributes to classify two-dimensional figures. I can make sense of the relationships between the attributes of two-dimensional figures within a category. I can explain why a triangle or quadrilateral would or would not belong to a category. What should we see happening in the classroom to help students achieve these goals? Here we see two short segments taken from STEMscopes Explore lessons. Students will be asked to identify and label the attributes of the two-dimensional figures and classify them based on those attributes. Students should have many experiences drawing and labeling the figures as shown here, along with using other tools such as geoboards, anglegs, and grid paper. Finally, we see a Venn diagram where students would be asked to sort the shapes into different categories based on their defining attributes. This lesson would highlight MTR 4, 5, and 6. Questioning is so important to facilitate student conversation within the math classroom. Here are a few examples of math chat questions taken from STEMscopes. You will notice that these questions are typically open-ended and will promote conversations from the students. In the first question, if a square is always a rectangle, is a rectangle always a square? Why or why not? No, not all rectangles have 4 equal sides. A square is a special type of rectangle that must have 4 equal sides. In the second question, you see, does an isosceles triangle always have to be an acute triangle? The answer is no. It could be right, acute, or obtuse. Finally, the question asks, how are equilateral triangles and isosceles triangles similar? An equilateral triangle is a special type of isosceles triangle. They both have at least 2 equal sides. Geometry is rich in vocabulary. The following 3 slides highlight important vocabulary for this unit. The good news is that students will be familiar with many of these terms from prior grades. As students participate in classroom discussions, it is so important for both the teacher and student to engage using correct vocabulary terms. This list can be found in the STEMscopes parent letter as well. Throughout this unit of study, we see numerous opportunities for the students to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding. This may include students' journals or exit tickets during the Explore, or the Show What You Know tasks as a follow-up. Students may also use the Fluency Builders with games to practice and elaborate on their content knowledge. All of these activities provide the teacher with great information to help informally assess student understanding during the unit. As we visit classrooms, we may want to ask students questions to measure their understanding of their current learning. Here we see some questions we could ask to assess their understanding of classifying quadrilateral and triangle attributes and justifying why or why not they belong to a category. These questions come directly from the benchmark pages on mathsmarts.com. This resource can be found by clicking on any of the benchmark links found in the instructional guides. We all want students to continue their learning at home with engaging tasks. The activities shown here were taken from the STEMscopes parent letter. One activity to play at home is called I Spy. This is a variation on the popular I Spy game we've all played before. Instead of naming a color of an object, the players are looking for specific shapes in the room. What a fun and easy game to play anytime, as no additional materials are needed. The next activity shown here is called Guess My Shape. Again, this is an easy game to play at home and requires only some paper to draw their shapes on. Finally, members then ask questions about the shape before finally guessing what it is. The MTRs highlighted here are MTR 2 and 7. Hopefully, the information and resources explained here in this video have demonstrated the significance of students being precise and accurate in being able to classify triangles and quadrilaterals into categories based on their attributes. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.